boat breakfast is served. Nice. All with you, apparently. The way the jambons. Moorland, here we come.
It's the first one of the trip at Moorlands. We'd only just cast out an hour and this one rattled off. It's 35.5 in the sling. Nothing sorted. It's red hot. Wasn't expecting this so quickly, to be fair. This one's taking the Eclipse prototype. We're giving it a go at Moorlands and it's instantly working. Oh man. Great start to the holiday.
Woke me up this morning, absolutely ripped off. Not the biggest in the lake, but when they look like that, that's definitely one for the future. What a stunning fish, and it fought like a demon as well, funnily enough. It's got to be about 15 pounds-ish, something like that. This one was on the prototype, around a scattering of freebies. Now it's time to start packing some real fish. Days. Another one, not the biggest in the lake, 22 pound odd. Third fish of the trip. I don't know why I'm not getting amongst the big ones, but this rod had just literally hit the deck, put the bobbin on, sorting a few bits out, and she smashed off. One of the commons from this lake, there's not many. Probably 3 or 4 over 50 and then a couple underneath that. This one was on a yellow pop-up. Well pleased. I want to get a few more now.
So we come out full from the draw and me and Lee decided on dogleg and boneyard. Lee went for boneyard and I'm in the dogleg. What a start. Literally within an hour of getting here. Set all my rods up, set my bivvy up, fish everywhere. First cast, boom, on the spot. I see lots of fish bubbling and showing. Within 5 minutes of that in the water, there's a lovely 31-pound bait.
Paul, you've got to look at this, is ridiculous. 6 fish now. 7 fish.
Evergreens in a dream of an island town. Draw a line in the sand and we'll smooth it down. And we decide we'll get in the middle, count them off one at a time. And we'll try to get us right. Awaken in the west, sunlight's out. Waiting through the days and the nights out. It's a slow shimmery summer. Your spell's pulling me under. Rolling in a waiting hollow. Showing me the moves to follow. It's a slow shimmery summer. Your spell's pulling me under.
Well, what a way to wake up this morning. 37 pounds, 8 ounces. Absolute beast of a fish.
That's enormous. It looks so long. It's like that mirror I had, doesn't it? No.
Lovely fish. What a fish. I think I'm going to put it back, get the rods out, try and catch a few more of these big boys. Come on in, baby, away you go. Thank you very much. Right, just to show you what I've been doing. Make sure no one's watching. Right, so this is what I've been doing. PVA bag pellet. That sort of size. So I've been getting me roughly, probably can't see that, handful in a boilie tube, and you look down, you'll probably fill it halfway, but then I let it all go into the bottom of the sack, get it down, touch more than that, and then I just put it into a big ball at the bottom, really compress it so it packs tightly into the bottom of my PVA like so. Just make sure I really compress it down. I don't want a loose floppy stocking bait. Once I do that, I just push where I'm going to do the knot, push that tight, a couple of twists, and there's my tight PVA bag. Another knot, just so I can go straight onto the next one, chop that off. That on the hook with a boilie and a little Eclipse icon topper. That's what's been getting me the fish.
So I've been trying a whole multitude of different tactics, and I think that's where I've gone wrong. I'm really struggling at the moment in the dog leg. Varying tactics have been particle, boilie, pop-ups, snowmen. I should have just stuck with one method, I think, to be fair. I've had fish around me, but they've sort of been on the edge, looking towards the reed swim. So I'm debating whether I should go in there. And I'm just going to fish one method, boilie only, and I might top them with the Eclipse icon toppers, so it looks like a little bit of corn on the top. So I know a few of the guys here have caught a couple of carp using corn and maize. So if I can replicate that but still fish the boilie, I think I might be in with a chance. So I'm going to an R in. I think I probably will go to reeds because that's where the fish are showing in more numbers than in front of me at the moment. So I think I'm going to pack this stuff up, get myself over there.
lovely fish. Fully scaled, 27 pound. Over the moon, mate. Absolutely over the moon. Look at that. Away, girl. All ready to go. Off she goes.
Welcome to France.
Picked up a little bit now, but I've got a real into breakfast of all things. I really want to stay fishing, but there we go.
So here I am, settled in the reed swim. Just as I was packing up and moving, Lee started catching fish right next door to me. But he's in completely different water, so I don't think there was any point in me staying. So fair play to Lee, who's been having a few now. I feel confident in this swim. I've seen a lot of fish. Even when I was moving in here, I could still see the fish. There's a lot of fizzing going on. I feel like porpoising, head and shouldering out the water, which generally means they're feeding. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to stick with boilies. Boilie only. I'm going to use the new Eclipse prototype. I know it's a good bait at home. We've been testing it at home and we're having results wherever we go. So it should work on here too. Spots. Right, I've got one spot right in front of me. It's probably 7 wraps. Got to fish one really close in to your near margin, because that's where a lot of the fizzing is, and the fish do patrol literally under your rod tips, and a lot of people make the mistake of casting right over the top of them. So you've always got to have one in the margin, in my opinion. The other 2 spots, it's out towards where I was fishing, because on the dog leg it curves round, and this swim is the next one along on the curve, so I can sort of fish more or less the same water but this side of it, and that's where a majority of the fish was showing. A lot of fizzing going on, so I think I'm going to have 2 rods in that direction out there. Space them out a little bit so they're not fishing on top of each other, and it just helps with my options. So I'm just going to go in with 50 boilies per cast and see what materialises from there, but I'm feeling confident.
£24, 12-ounce common. Gave me another great scrap. Look at the rudder on this bad boy. Absolutely enormous. Enormous. All the fish fall into a specific tactic. Boilie with topper, basically. Everybody else is fishing maize. I'm forcing boilies upon these bad boys, and it's reaping the rewards. Moorland's common in all its glory, back to his watery home. Number 6, any more?
Welcome to France.
Welcome to France. Big girls, please. About time you caught one.
Update time, and it's good news. The move paid off. At 5 o'clock this morning, I had a screaming take. I was fast asleep, and it tore off, absolutely tore off. And the net result was a £29 common. So here's the footage of that now. So who are you rolling?
I'm rolling, mate.
Well, the move has paid off. Moved into reed swim, £29 common. This one took the Eclipse prototype snowman. Rattled off. I don't know what the time is, must be about 5 o'clock in the morning. It's my second fish, and it's much needed, believe me. Happy. And then, literally seconds after putting that common back, I didn't have a chance to set the net back up. My other rod's gone springing into action, and that ended up being a nice mid-double, probably mirror. What a pretty fish. I'll let you decide. Have a look at this. Well, 2 minutes later, the other rod's rattled off, and here's the future of Moorlands. Probably about 18 pound, but real scaly one. Quite a nice looking fish. I had to call Lee back because I haven't had a chance to set my landing net back up again. All kicking off. And it's Big Fish Thursday now. This one ain't a big fish though, but hopefully that's to come through today.
It's early morning bivvy cam. There's still a few fish what appear to be feeding out in front of me. It seems that they're coming to me in the mornings, because once the morning comes and I've had breakfast, they seem to do the off. So I can see a few fish out there now. I'm waiting for that middle rod to go. It has to go. Unless they're still preoccupied on some naturals and some particle that was out from the other day. Can only sit and hope. I can't do anything more than sit on my hands.
So I've just been for the massive fry up that you have here at Moorlands. Get a massive great big full belly after eating that. And back in my swim. And I've just lost probably, I'd say it's about a £30 catfish. But I'm not that unhappy because I'm not a big fan of them. Basically when I got them on the bank, I don't like the smell of them and I do actually vomit. I'm not a massive fan, so I wasn't too upset that that slipped the hook. It went absolutely loony on me. Darting here, darting there, coming up to the surface, these big whiskers on the top. I'm pretty pleased that come off, to be fair. So as we go into the afternoon now, it's too hot for me, it feels too warm. I don't think during the day is the best chance of catching one. So as we go into the night and tomorrow morning, I think there will be a chance because there's still a little bit of fizzing going on, but it's the mornings when I'm really seeing them fizzing. So that's 2 fish on the first morning and in this swim. So I think you agree that the move definitely worked in my favour. So that's put me on 3 fish now with a couple of nights to go. As I said at the beginning, I really want 7 fish and a PB. Well, it's Big Fish Thursday now, so wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great? I've got to beat 51.3, so a bit of a tall order. Well, not really, because there's 50s, 60s and indeed 70s swimming around in this lake, so it only takes a second to get a bite, and that one bite could be a 70 pounder. So look what I found walking past the swim. Mr. Keith Moore's the owner of Moorland Fisheries. Thanks for having us back, Keith.
You're welcome, mate.
It's always lovely to come to Moorlands. Great atmosphere, great food and great fish. Talking of great fish, I've heard there's been a couple of big ones out.
Yeah, it's been a good year. Let's just clarify, they were caught at the right time, in the right conditions, which is obviously dependent on them showing their best weight when they're on the bank. But it's what, 74.15 and 76.15.
Fish of dreams.
Unbelievable, yeah, superb.
I bet you're chuffed to bits.
I am, and they're still both young fish, so they've still got a bit of going in them yet. And if you see cuttail in the sling, it's mind blowing. It nearly fills up one of the cradles, and yet there's no depth to it really yet. There's not really got a gut on it, so you just think this thing could keep going. Yeah, I mean, in theory, again, if it was caught at the right time and in the right conditions next year, it could be an 80 pounder easily.
These are fish of a lifetime for anglers that come to your
absolutely.
lake. So tell us about the stocks. What's changed? What are your plans?
We haven't changed the stock as such. We're still taking out the commons that are under £20, putting them in the stock pond. I've got some possible plans for the stock pond, getting rid of the fish that we've got and doing something different with the stock pond to grow on some bigger fish in the future, but that's all dependent on getting the right pump and somebody that wants all of the stock that we've got. So once we've done that, then we'll do
The
replanning.
future's looking bright.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fish stock in here, the young fish are growing on. We've got a lot of. Alan had a 50-pounder this week that we don't recognise.
I love that when you say that. Just had another 50 and I don't recognise it.
But some of them are mental that we're having fish like 55-pounders and anglers are saying to me, which fish is that? And I'm looking up still pillock. I don't know. And they look at you as if you're daft. You should know every fish, but there's many now.
That's testament to the lake though, because you know that those fish are packing on that weight so fast that you can't even keep track of it.
No. We had an angler a little while ago. He said, "So do you want us to phone you for every 40?" And I said, "No, thanks. I'd like some sleep this week."
Yes.
It's great that it's gone beyond my original dream. So yeah, very chuffed.
So for next year's anglers coming, if you was to give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
One piece. There'd probably be several pieces of advice, but the way you fish, the way I fish, would be to heavily bait one rod, but not the whole swim. Because if one rod isn't working, you've still got two rods that you can rove about with if you need to. But I'd stick to the baited patch. But on that one rod, I'd get the bait in very early, day one probably, and then just sit to that and see if the fish do come. When they come, then you can move your other rods around to it.
I think I'd agree with that because I've been fishing in the boneyard swim and I've noticed fish at all ranges within my swim, whether I'm fishing long or whether I'm fishing 2 racks from the bank.
Yeah.
The fish are there.
Yeah. That leads nicely on to another bit of advice. Don't ignore the margins. Maybe not necessarily very, very close in, but certainly the short rod. I'm not insulting anglers at all, but generally all of us as carp anglers at some stage, you give someone a carp angler a carp rod and he wants to launch it as far as he can get, which is great if that's where the fish are. But look is the word. On here, you just got to keep watching the lake. If you're going to lay down and read a book, or you're going to lay down and play with the computer or whatever, you are going to miss the fish. You know as well, we all know, because you've been here a few times, that they're not shy, they give themselves away. But if you're not watching, you ain't going to see them. So, I mean, it is literally watch where they are, find them, and then just fish to them. Yeah, when you start fishing to them, you're probably going to spook them away. But there's something there on that spot that attracted them in the first place.
You'll find that from when you've moved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've moved swims and I've seen a lot more this side. But it's just use your eyes and you will see these fish. They do give themselves away. They're head and shouldering, they're bubbling. You'll see discoloration in the water. So you know where the fish are and just fish for them.
Yeah, that's right. And just accuracy is probably another part of the equation.
Well, we're standing here behind motionless rods at the moment. I'm just waiting for these delkins to roar off.
Yeah, it should be all right. It's not raining, is it?
No.
My delkins have lasted for years in the rain. In fact, I've run them upside down in water.
Well, thanks for your time, Keith.
No, you're welcome.
And listen to this man. If you come to Moorlands, he's the wealth of knowledge. It's his lake. He knows. So if you're coming to Moorlands, I just want to run you through some of the rules really before you come out here, so you're aware of them. The hook size, it must be a minimum of size 4. Now, these are really big carp in here, and you need a big bit of metal and you want it to lodge into that bottom lip. You don't want tiny little hooks in those massive mouths. So what Keith advocates is a size 4 or a size 2. Nothing smaller than that. The other big rule is no leaders. So no lead core, none of your safe zone leaders. I think you can use tubing. If you want to use tubing, you can get away with that, but definitely no leaders. The next bit is running rigs. You can only use a running rig on this lake. Don't try and bring lead clips, banned. You will not be allowed to use them, so don't even try. Running rigs really work on this water with a really slack line. I'm using 1.5 ounce leads, and because this lake is quite silty in places, you don't want a big heavy leads diving into the silt. So I use tiny little leads that you can get away with, as I say 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce, and a running rig. And with the slack line, when you get a honestly, when you get a run, it is an absolute screaming take. So what bait have we been using? Well, myself and Lee have been on the prototype this week from Eclipse baits, and we've done 9 fish so far between us. With another night to go, that's how it could go higher. Little edge also me and Lee have been using are the icon toppers. These are like little sweet corn shaped boilies, if you like. You put that on top of your bottom bait, gives an extra bit of attraction and that extra bit of colour around your hook bait. Could buy you an extra bite. Thursday was a bit of a write-off for me. I didn't feel well. I haven't felt right all week, to be fair, but it culminated in me being quite bad on Thursday evening. So unfortunately I couldn't fish Thursday night. So we're now in Friday. We went up on the southern arm, did a bit of stalking this afternoon to bubbling fish. Couldn't snare one, so we're now back at our swim for the final evening, final night. If we don't catch a fish, I'd just like to say thank you to Keith, Jan, Sharon and Alan for looking after us and have us back here for the week. Been thoroughly enjoyable, great fun as always. It's just been a slow week unfortunately. Happens to us all. Let's hope the anglers coming on this week have a better week than us.